What's up guys, welcome back to a new video. Today I'm talking about the Valkyries in Record of Ragnarok, going over their role, power, some predictions and pretty much everything about them. Hope you enjoy. The Valkyries are a group of 13 demigods titled the 13 Valkyrie Sisters, who were given the role to be a guidance of souls, where they will descend upon Earth and select the best warriors to be taken to Valhalla, and these select warriors will be used as an army to pretty much defend heaven against any attack from the outside. I'm guessing from a demon realm or something like that. However, this may have been their role at first, but it changed over time with their current goal and role per se is to get these chosen warriors and bond with them, forming a pact with them turning into a weapon known as a Volund throughout the series to help these warriors defend humanity by fighting the gods. And that's where we have the Valkyries we've seen so far, with the main character of our story, I'll assume, Brunhilde, the first Valkyrie sister who started the tournament known as Ragnarok against the gods to save humanity, with this being the true role of the 13 Valkyrie sisters. Help me reach my 2021 goal of 100k subscribers by subscribing if you're new to the channel or you just haven't already. It's free, easy to do. Also consider checking out the description for the Discord server and my Twitter. Now enjoy the video. So I mentioned Volund, that's what they turn into. It's normally a weapon for the selected fighters of humanity to use. I'll talk about each of them individually that we've seen so far, and then I'll go into some predictions of what the other weapons will be. But the purpose of this ability is to give mortals the power to damage the gods. We learned that the gods can't take damage from mortals or from physical damage from anywhere that's not another god. So these demigods, the 13 Valkyrie sisters, turn into these weapons that can actually harm and damage the gods, which puts the mortals on somewhat as the same level as the gods, but not fully on their level, if I have to be completely honest. I'll talk about some predictions I have for the final part of the series, and then I'll talk about the Valkyrie and the weapons we've seen so far, and then some predictions for the other heroes' weapons we'll end up seeing. So of course we have Brunhilde, who's the first Valkyrie, and we have Gol, who's the final Valkyrie, or the 13th Valkyrie, with those two being the main two Valkyries we've seen throughout the story and pretty much the main two characters of the story. I forgot to mention earlier, but if a Valkyrie once transformed into a Volund is to die in the battle against the gods, they also die alongside the human. For example, when Adam lost his fight against Zeus, the Valkyrie who was paired with him, who became his brass knuckles, also died as well. So my prediction for the final two fights of the Ragnarok tournament is that humanity will actually be in the lead by one win, and that leaves Brunhilde and Gol remaining. Brunhilde will see that she can acquire the win here, so she decides to go second last to ensure that humanity wins, and this is where she actually loses the battle with whatever human she's with and then actually dies, which brings the tournament on the draw again. And then Gol will be the final Valkyrie to get revenge for the fallen Valkyries and her sister Brunhilde to pretty much get the win and win the tournament of Ragnarok. That's how I see the final two fights of Ragnarok going. Brunhilde dies and Gol gets the final victory. Let me know your thoughts of that down in the comments. Now I'll talk about the Valkyries we've seen so far and their weapons. Take note, I'm probably going to butcher the names of the Valkyries, but the first Valkyrie we saw turn into a weapon throughout the series goes by the name of Randris, where she was the spear of Ubu in the first fight of Ragnarok, with her being the fourth Valkyrie. In the second fight of Adam vs Zeus, we had the 7th Valkyrie known as Rhyingleaf, probably butchered that, with her turning into brass knuckles for Adam to use throughout the fight. The knuckles didn't actually break throughout the fight, but since Adam died, she also died in the second round. In the third round, we had Heist be the sword of Kojiro Sasaki against Poseidon, with her being considered the second Valkyrie, and with this Valkyrie being, extra thick, as well as having an extra ability that we haven't seen prior. This unique ability was due to her having two powers, or two split personalities, one being around fear, anger, hot-headedness, stuff like that, and then the other side being calm and level-headed. When the sword was broken in half by Poseidon in the fight, it split into two swords for Sasaki Kojiro to use to actually defeat Poseidon in the third round, which allowed the second Valkyrie to survive. In the fourth round between Jack the Ripper and Hercules, Jack the Ripper got the help of the 11th Valkyrie, which kind of wasn't by her own will. It was kind of forced by Jack the Ripper and Brunhilde for her to actually become the Evolution of Jack the Ripper, with her actually having probably the OPest ability we've seen so far out of the Valkyrie sisters, with her turning into gloves that whatever Jack the Ripper touches actually turns into a divine weapon that can harm and slay the gods. So everything that, or anything that Jack the Ripper touched throughout the fight that he wanted to turn into a divine weapon, he could. That's why Jack the Ripper was pretty much able to defeat Hercules, even though the big power difference between the two, because he played tricks on him, baited him throughout the whole fight. That's why, as personally one of my top fights in the series so far, just the baiting Hercules throughout the whole fight, lying to him about his volume, everything regarding that, and how he turned everything into a divine weapon to roll Hercules at the end of the fight, with him even turning blood into a divine weapon to defend himself from Hercules' attacks and then finish him at the end of the fight, without Valkyrie surviving after the battle, because as we know, Jack the Ripper survived and defeated Hercules. The Valkyrie in the 5th round of Raiden vs Shiva goes by the name of Fudd and is the 3rd Valkyrie, with her Vol'jin being another different one. She's also called the strongest Valkyrie, maybe due to her being an absolute chat with all these muscles. She turned into Raiden's pretty much muscles that prevented him from going out of control and pretty much allowing Raiden to unleash all his power he wasn't able to use in his whole life, with his whole body pretty much turning into a weapon that could harm Shiva. So the muscles that Raiden actually possessed turned into the weapon to fight Shiva, which is very strong. And it seems that as the story has progressed, the power of the Valkyries have gotten better and better and more overpowered. And also take note, near the end of this fight, when Raiden realized he has lost and he was going to get killed by Shiva, he mentions to Fudd that she can leave him so she can survive, but she refuses, saying, "I promise myself once I find someone I love, I'll never leave them." This may not just be Fudd saying that because she loves Raiden, she's not going to leave him. It's more that she can't leave him due to the pact the Valkyries make with the humans, and that they can't leave until they win, and if they lose they end up dying as well. That's my assumption like that, but she just kind of made Raiden feel better by saying she wanted to die with him and everything regarding that. Now I'll go over some predictions for the remaining fighters and what weapons I think the remaining Valkyries will turn into. So we've already seen Okita Tsuji using a sword, so I'm assuming the Valkyrie will also turn into a sword for him to use in his fight. For Simmer, he's known to be a crazy OP sniper, so I'm assuming the Valkyrie will turn into a sniper for him to use. I think Kintoki will either have a sword or some like power based volume, maybe like his raw fist, maybe his legs, maybe his whole body, something unique like that, or it may be just a sword as well. For Rasputin, my personal most hyped fighter, I think he'll have something to do with magic powers. I think in his fight, whether it's going to be next or not, they'll have the introduction of magic for humanity's side and really into the whole story properly, and Rasputin's magic is going to most likely come from the Valkyrie, I'd assume, or he could maybe have like a little dagger or maybe some poison or something interesting like that, maybe something unique. Nostradamus may have some type of weapon, or this may be his whole body, or something unique like Jack the Ripper where he pretty much rolls and outsmarts his opponent to win. Maybe something to do with his eyes, something interesting like that. Not 100% sure for Nostradamus. Let me know your predictions for the remaining fighters down in the comments, what volume they'll have. Tesla may have something electrical based. I'm assuming he's going to fight Susanoo in his battle, so maybe some type of lightning based weapon or some wires, not 100% sure. King Leonidas will probably have a spear in my opinion, and then Qin Shi Huang, the Chinese emperor, will probably have magic, or maybe his armor or his whole body as a whole will be the pretty much volume or divine weapon to take down the gods. But yep, those are my predictions for the remaining weapons the Valkyries are going to turn to for the Ragnarok tournament. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, your thoughts of this video. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, join the Discord, and yep, that's it guys, peace.